Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. All right, y'all. I'm your girl, lucrative insurance strategist, Amber McCray, and I am here with another training for my fellow beauty professionals or anybody who is interested in the non surgical hair replacement industry or hair loss industry. And this training, guys, is for individuals who are looking to expand their businesses so they can begin the process of actually billing medical insurance in their business, or if they're looking to accept government contracting or a government affiliations, whatever stage you're at. This is also great for those individuals who maybe just want to be a true supplier, and maybe you have like a wig company or cranial prosthesis company, and so you who also can help with this as well. And you guys can also expand by adding medical financing and things like that. But like I said, I want to just come on. I'm working on just giving you guys some different tips that I hear from my beauty professionals and hair loss specialists each week, and just kind of tackle a topic that I'm like, you know what? I think y'all need some extra information on that. So free game. So if you're joining me today and you want some free game, type free game in the chat so I know that you are here. So today is free game. I know this is kind of like a little pop-up training, but this is going to start being more of a constant thing that we want to do. All right. So free game is what we're talking about today. So one of the biggest things that I notice when it comes to, well, like I said, with me in the course of Seamless Academy, our biggest goal is to help you guys get through the credentialing process when it comes to getting on with insurance companies, like I said, the government companies, government agencies, as well as medical financing opportunities, or even nonprofit organizations. But the big thing that comes with all of these, getting credentialed with all of them, is the credentialing process is different for each one. So one thing that I noticed, being, in my specialty, people always tell me like, hey, Amber, I am, I already have my NPI number. I already got my SAMS account. I already got my DUNS number. I already got this. I got that. And they're not realizing that all of those go for different things. Okay. So what I want to do is put together a training, just like I said, to drop some free game so you can know the differences between what it is that you're actually getting credentialed for. So you're not, lost in the sauce and be like, hey, I'm not sure what it is that I need my, what it is that I'm needing help with. Okay. Or what is it that I really have under my belt? Because it sounds good, but you want to know how to use it. We're going to learn today how to properly use these things. All right. So first things first, let's get into what is each of these entities, what they all do, and then I'll talk about how to credential it. So, and for those who may be new and have never met me, like I said, I'm Amber McCray, your lucrative insurance strategist, and I am the founder of Seamless Academy, of Seamless Academy resources, where we actually provide resources to beauty professionals who are looking to convert their salon to a medical hair loss facility. All right. And the way we go about doing that is making sure on paperwork and actually making sure you have the certification to be able to do these specialized trainings. And if you are in the chat, yeah, okay, I got you free game. Okay, thanks for joining, guys. Free game, free game. That's what we're doing today. Free game. All right. So insurance. So when it comes to that, the first thing that we go hear about the most is insurance companies. Insurance companies can bill hair loss services, and we love that. We want that, right? So insurance companies, that process is as a beauty professional who has gotten some certain type of hair loss training, whether that's in trichology, whether that's as a hair loss practitioner, whether that is a non-surgical hair replacement specialist. If you have went and got some specialized training in hair loss, uh, hi Amber, thanks for the knowledge. You're welcome, Miss Jasmine. But if you have got some specialized training in hair loss, guys, you are able to actually show a certificate of completion and prove that, hey, I specialize in doing hair loss. And that's what insurance companies want to see. So insurance companies actually will cover your clients for their hair loss service. But the hair loss service that is covered is a cranial prosthesis. All right. So the process would be the insurance company will look at this client's eligibility, with their patient's eligibility for the cranial prosthesis service. And in turn, we get you guys credentialed with these companies so you can receive a check directly to cover a cranial prosthesis service. That's insurance. Okay. So I'm going to get into credentialing in just a minute, but that's how it would go for insurance. Government agencies. So with government agencies, many of you guys hear about government contracting or government. We probably always hear government contracting, but a lot of times we become government affiliates first. until we can, work to get a government contract in. But that's a whole nother lie for a whole nother day. So as you guys hear any ideas or things that you be like, you know what, that was really good. Let me see if I can get another spinoff. Please drop me some ideas, because I love to kind of give you guys things that you want to hear. And versus what I know there's things that you need to hear, but there's some things that I don't know what you want to hear. So always drop that for me. So government agencies are working with one of the biggest ones that I teach guys in Seamless Academy is getting on with the Veteran Affairs Hospital. All right. So you're getting on with the Veteran Affairs Hospital. The Veteran Affairs Hospital is considered a government agency. All right. Meaning that you have to actually go through a process to get credentialed with the government to be able to receive money back from them. So this particular agency actually works with veterans. Okay. Veterans that will come, that can come to you, say, hey, I have hair loss going on. We will guide them in the process of how to get a consult. That's what they get when they go to the VA. So it's not insurance, but they actually get a consult to go to the prosthetics department. And prosthetics department has a separate budget set aside for them to get, it's funding set aside for them to get medical wigs, okay, or cranial prosthesis. So that's not, so sometimes I notice that people get those two confused. Insurance companies it's what it is. It's coming from insurance. The insurance company is actually paying out. When it comes to the VA, even though the VA does have insurance, we get on as vendor. I teach you guys how to get on as a vendor, which means you're kind of like in a government vendor affiliation type in general. The big umbrella word is government contracting, but there's steps to actually getting a contract. So we actually become affiliated with the government agency first, and then later on you guys are going to see some trainings on how to actually get government contracting as hair loss specialists. It's in the works, but that is what you would do. You would become a government affiliate. Okay, there's a different credentialing process for that. All right, so if you hang on there with me, y'all, I'm gonna make sure I get to all of those. Okay, well, and then of course, like I said, you can get coverage through like medical financing. And that's just like, maybe you're working partner with credit card companies like Care Credit or something like that. Or maybe you're working with like maybe you offer some type of financing through your business. I know Cherry is a very common one as well. And so those are other ways that not veterans, your hair loss clients can get some type of coverage. And that is a whole nother sign up process. But today, my focus today is going to tell you guys how to get credentialed with insurance and how to also get credentialed when it comes to getting on with government agencies. And if you're a person that's like, hey, maybe you can't stay on to the end, but you're like, no, I need this information right now. I need to make sure I can tap in and stick with this or get some more tools. Please type ready in the chat so we can make sure we get that information to you. So if you type ready in the chat, whether you're on my Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, please type ready in the chat and we will be sure to get that information to you so you can have those tools under your belt on how to do these processes. But all right. This may be a refresher for some. A lot of my people already are beauty professionals. I mean, already certified. They already, like you said, you got your DUNS number, you got your NPI number. Y'all know the speech I give. I got they be like, I got my DUNS number, I got my NPI number, I got my Sam's account. I don't know what to do next. Okay, I don't know what to do next. I'm gonna get you. I got you. All right. So I'm about to tell you what you do next. And if you really are at a point where you have all this stuff, you should be able to do those next steps. But like I said, if you need some more help, that's where I'm coming in for that. Okay. So for insurance companies, the credentialing process for an insurance company is first things first. You need to have that NPI number. That NPI number goes with insurance company. It has nothing to do with the VA. So NPI number, which is, for those who may not know, is a national provider identification number. Okay. So we have an EIN number, which is an employee identification number that describes our business. For as an individual, I'm Amber McCray. I am attached to a social security number. So all these numbers mean something. So social security number goes with you as an individual. EIN number describes your business and is affiliated with the IRS. And then you have your own, when you come to try to get into the insurance side of things or that medical side, they have a number to recognize you as a medical provider, which is National Provider Identification Number. So if you already have your NPI, guys, congratulations. You are officially you're listed as a medical provider. Okay. Now, the step where things get a little lost, or getting parents companies, now you're needing to actually get credentialed with the insurance companies. Now with the NPI, you are definitely able to call insurance companies. It gives you some rights. You got some little pool. Like, yes, I have the recognition as being a nationally listed provider. They do put you in a directory, but you also have access to be able to call insurance companies and saying, "Hey, I have a client who's looking to receive hair loss services, and with these hair loss services, I need me some Okay, cool. Miss Trina got her NPI. Matter of fact, let's see how many people have their NPIs. So if you have your NPI in the already have an NPI number, drop NPI in the chat. Okay. Say, well, drop a one. We'll just drop a one in the chat. Make it easy. If you already have an NPI number, drop a one in the chat. If you do not already have an NPI number, drop a two in the chat. Because this will help me see if I need to really go deep into this. Okay. All right. So if you already have an NPI number, type a one in the chat. Okay. NPI. Gotcha. Okay. So y'all familiar with NPI. So like I said, when you had an NPI number, you can go ahead and call insurance companies and check your client's eligibility, meaning, does my client have coverage? If you did not have an NPI number, guys, you couldn't do that. It actually would be a HIPAA violation. We would be violating our patient's privacies. Okay. So if you already have an NPI number, you can call the insurance company and really even see if it's worth getting credentialed with an insurance company. I tell people, if you're not sure what insurance companies are best for you, I go through a list of them that are very popular nationwide. But for your area, if you're near a military base, you might be more likely to have more TRICARE clients than Aetna, for example. But Blue Cross Blue Shield is one of those ones that's across the board. But I tell people, look into what your client, who's coming in your chair. Ask them, what is the insurance company you're with? Get that name, that patient. That's gonna be another training, y'all. So how to check patient eligibility. But get that name, get that date of birth. All right. Get that information so you could actually call that insurance company and see what coverage they can have. Okay. And like I said, I'm definitely gonna do a training on that too. I want you guys to know how to do that, because the NPI, having an NPI is really good. But when after you have gotten that NPI number and now you say, okay, well, my client does have coverage with this company, let's use Aetna for easy wording. I can actually get on with Aetna now. So let me go to Aetna's website and see what is the credentialing process to become a provider. And that's when you're going to need that NPI. That's when you're going to need that, knowing your business information, like what is the name of your business? Do you have a DBA? What is your business address? All of those things work hand in hand to being able to complete out insurance enrollment application. So just know the biggest thing though, NPI goes with insurance companies. Okay. That's all you need for insurance companies to get started. Well, of course, you need to show, okay, NPI. You want to have a state license. So for insurance companies, you have to have that NPI. You do have to have a state license. The state license being like your cosmetology license. If you're in the medical field, you can use those licensing. And then you also need to have that certificate of completion saying, hey, I am specialized in this. So just by a show of hands in the chat, how many people already have all of that? You just raise your hand, like put a hand, use your emoji hand, like, or thumbs up. Let's do thumbs up. That's easier. Thumbs up if you already have that information, that NPI, your certificate of completion saying that you are specialized, and also your cosmetology license or your state license. So just put a thumbs up in the chat if you already have this information. And if you already have this information, you already good. Okay. Like you pretty much have the credentialing needed to get on insurance companies. Okay. I see some ones coming in. Great. So yep. So that's pretty much when it comes to the insurance side. Now, for those who like, okay, well, I also got a DUNS number. I also have a SAMS account. All right, good. Okay. So y'all already good. Now, we gonna switch over. So that, but if you're interested in getting on with insurance companies and you have those things, you have pretty much what it needs to get started. Because when you get on with insurance companies, now you're gonna do the application. That's pretty much all you're missing now. I need to do an application. Okay. All right. So that's separate. So y'all, if you're taking notes, insurance company, NPI number is needed, license is needed, and a certificate of completion in a field of hair loss is needed. That's it. Okay. And this is for prosthetics. Okay. For cranial prosthesis services, hair loss services, that is what is covered. Okay. Now, if you're a person like, okay, well, I am trying to get on with, I want to get some funding from the VA, the Veteran Affairs Hospitals. All right. Now, Champ VA is an insurance company that covers a lot. That's what covers veterans. But Champ VA, many people who work with Champ VA know that, like, hey, it could kind of take a while to get your money back, and that's the same thing with insurance all in general. It take a little minute or whatever to get all the things that you need to get that client covered. But if you have a veteran, there's a whole nother budget set aside for them, and you can get the funds way faster, and they will actually pay out every year. Insurance companies only going to pay depending on the person's policy, but the VA is like every year. Some places are twice a year, and they have a certain amount that they're going to pay, and usually it's a few thousands. Okay, and I say a few, but I have seen as high as and I'm gonna speak for myself. I try not to speak on nothing I haven't done. 5,000, a little over $5,000, and don't mess around and somebody having to pay twice because maybe somebody has missed. So Champ VA. So I'll name Champ VA. Champ VA, that is CHAMP VA. That's the insurance that's with the Veteran Affairs Hospital. But I've tried to, I've attempted, I'm sorry, I've attempted to get credentialed with Champ VA until I realized Champ VA doesn't, I can get more money just going through the prosthetics department. Okay. Now, how I figured that out, guys, I don't know, but you get more money on a yearly basis per client if you go through the prosthetics department. So they have funding set aside specifically for cranial prosthesis services. Way easier to do, less work to do, and they're going to give you an adequate amount to be able to get that client what they need. Okay. Now, what do you need before you decide, like, hey, I'm going to get on with the VA? That's when you need that DUNS number. That's DUNNS. Or if you go to the website, it's dnb.com. Okay. D as in dog, N as in napkin, B as in boy.com. And you just make a DUNS account. Okay. You get a free DUNS number. Now, I know that things have updated and it is not required to need a DUNS number to make a SAMS account. But if anybody has worked with government or familiar with how the government rolls, everybody's not caught up on that. So they still want you to have that DUNS number, and they use that DUNS number to look you up in SAMS. Some VAs have actually, they may ask for your UEI number, but when you get a SAMS account, which you can go to SAMS.gov and make you a account, and make sure you do not just make an account, also fill out the application to make your account active. Those two accounts are all you need to be able to get listed or get affiliated with government agencies, with the VA. Let me say the VA. Okay. That doesn't require you to get, like, if you're going to get government contracting, of course, there's way more to that. You have to have, your tax documents together, be able to show, that you've already gotten purchase orders from the VA. But as of now, just to get straight on into the VA, it's too easy. Like, they're not, to be honest, they're not asking for a license. Now, some VAs are having to crack down because they are allowing people, we're having to fight a lot, guys, to keep our industry professional. And, some of us are having to expose people that's not all the way legit, and that's making it hard for us because when they have these not credentialed people who do not really do hair or not licensed cosmetologists, now you're running into issues with veterans having complaints and scalp breakouts and all of that. So as a licensed cosmetologist and also certified in, hair loss specialist, you can actually kind of demand a little bit more because you have more credentials. Okay. And so, definitely want to make sure you have that. But to say that they honestly are asking for it, they're not. So currently, as of current day, a license is not required to get on with the VAs. But I highly encourage you to have a license, because when people start complaining, they're going to check this. They assume that the only reason why you're even hitting them up is because you have a license. And so some VAs are starting to ask. So DUNS number and getting a SAMS account, you are in the game to be able to get on with the VA. So how many people, just by you, if you put a 1 in the chat, how many people already have a DUNS number? Putting a 1 in the chat. Just put a 1 in the chat. If you already have a DUNS number, put a 1 in the chat. And that's DUNNS. It's a free number. And if you haven't gotten one, make sure you get a free one. Okay, we got a few of them. Okay, cool. All right, so if how many of you guys are familiar with the SAMS account? SAMS. You could put a 1 in the chat if you're familiar with the SAMS account or have a SAMS account. And I wanted, guys, I'm telling you, when things hit my heart to talk about things, I just jump on, because like I said, the biggest reason why I want to get on here is because we actually have, individuals who like I said, we get all this information. Maybe we made it years back when we took a class or something like that, and we just didn't get any more information about it. Like, we made the accounts, and it was like, okay, now it's 5 years later, we ready to start with these accounts. And it's like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what account goes with what. Sometimes even with the NPI number, we forget that we can log into the account. Yep, that's what it is. It'd be years ago. The only reason why I know my information is because I work with you guys all the time, and I have to kind of keep up with the updates. But if it wasn't for that, I would have been just like y'all. Like, I like the Sam's account. I knew about the updated changes because I helped somebody else with a Sam's account. I couldn't even tell you all that application had, asked. So this is definitely something, guys, that you want to just know the differences. And I hope that it really brought some value to you, because this is something that you can really use in your business, so you can start getting, if you're doing hair loss clients, period, there's no question of why, if you should do this or not. If you are doing hair loss clients, or you're in a or you already have clients in your chair that you are seeing or experiencing hair loss, there is no reason why you don't want to jump onto this. And the hardest part is getting credentialed. Once you're credentialed, and as you can see, you don't need much to get credentialed. You separate your numbers, know what is what. That's all you need, and you don't want to shut that door on that revenue for you and your clients. You're going to benefit, and your client is going to benefit. Simple as that. So, like I said, if you are a person who's like, hey, you know what, Amber, this has brought some value to me, I could take it off and run with this, good. And then you're welcome. And if you're, if you're doing a lot of hair loss clients, yes, you gotta get on. So if this is something that you need some help with, guys, I want to give you a few tools that's available. I do have a community, right? There's a community that I have, guys, that you guys are able to just come in here. Some of you guys already have had training. Maybe, you need updated vendor lists. Maybe you're not sure how to price your services for your hair loss services. Because I'm a trichologist as well. I don't teach trichology, but I'm very well versed with trichology because I do those hair trichology clients. Okay. I think I've been lost for years. I think you have been lost. Yes, it's that and then when I hear the people, I was like, since I can't ignore what I'm hearing, I'm like, dang, you know what? People think all this stuff go together. But I don't expect, I cannot say what I expect people to know, because y'all don't have to see all these applications all the time. Like, I'm working with one of my I got a lady who does grants and stuff. And in her mind, she's like, oh yeah, I got this, here's all you need is this, and this. And I'm like, that sounds easy, but because I don't do grants all the time, that sounds like a lot. That's like, I don't even want to hear that. So because I'm dealing with insurance, and I'm dealing with these government contracts and all that, I know what y'all need, and I'm going to make it simple for you. Okay. So the tools that you guys could join in on, if you want to jump into our community, we have a Med Hair Professionals Network, which is only $47 a month. That's what, about $1 and some change a day. Let me see. Let me see how much that is a day. And in this group, guys, you can ask questions all day long. We actually go in here every month and do a Q&A call. So you can actually, we do a Q&A call where you can actually ask questions, depending on what it is that you're needing. All right. So that's about $1.50, a little over $1.50 a day. All right. You're attached to this community where people, I learn from you guys too. There's like different financing companies that come open. There are different, class years ago, and it's time to reap a harvest. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And her class actually does right with getting you guys started. You have all the information you need. And like I said, that's how I know people have all them accounts. But now it's like, okay, I'm ready to get going. And I got all these numbers, but I'm still not getting this money. What is happening? And it's not, and the clients for wanting to know too. My you know how they do. They brag about us and be like, oh my goodness, I'm with my stylist that went and got this type of training, but then we don't know how to tell them to help us help them by getting their paperwork right so they can get insurance coverage or get government contracting coverage. I give you guys a template for your veterans to be able to go and ask for that VA. They'll put you in there themselves if they follow this script. Okay, so it's very, very detailed. So like I said, we do have a community called Med Hair Professionals Network, where it's $47 a month. I have all type of ebooks in there. I have templates that you guys can download and use. And like I said, I go in there, I'll do a Q&A call once a month, but you do not have to wait to that once a month live call to ask questions. Okay, so I'll make sure I put that in the chat. Or like I said, if you put ready, you're going to get a message anyway. And then for those who like, hey, this is just new to me altogether, I haven't never even started. We do have oh yes, I'll make sure I get that to you. Great. Okay. And then I said, we do have a course, a Jumpstart Your Hair Loss Business course, where it is step by step. I gotta share the testimonials, guys. Before I came on this call today, I was talking to my Q&A call, and they just like, oh my gosh, Amber, the steps that you go into to start from beginning to end. Like, I'm not just gonna tell you to get an NPI number. Before you get this NPI number, let's make sure we know what all your business setup is first. Let's make sure your business is established. Okay. So we got to go through all those steps and make sure your clinic is set up right, all of that. Then we start doing applications. And we have full detailed application demonstrations, how to do the claim submissions. Some of you guys already are with a provider. You already listed as a provider, but you don't know how to operate, get into a portal to even do a claim. And we like to submit electronic claims over here. So hey, we're giving you the newest game on that. So if you're a person who needs that type of help, come on to our Jumpstart Your Hair Loss Business online course. You do get our book. The book is step by step with the book. So you have page references, templates. You can download those templates as well. And in that group, we actually do Q&A calls every 2 weeks. And they also have a community that they can ask questions. So that is definitely, if you're more like, hey, I need a little bit more one-on-one. And I know people ask me for one-on-one. Just guys, I honestly don't have the capacity to do one-on-one at this time. But the people who are in this class, like, I really feel like you holding my hand. That's the environment I wanted to have. And so when I heard those testimonials today, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, I'm glad they said that, because that was I used to do a lot of more independent coaching, but it just got a little too much because I still have my clients too. So I wanted to make sure I provide you guys with a community that you guys can still feel like you have that type of access and get that help. And those videos are just always there. Your book is always there. And I'm always checking in to be able to help you guys with the steps. Okay. So you type right in the chat. And the book also is available separate for those who just like, hey, I just need me to have, I want to just add this to my library. So this is our book. If it shows it. Oh, our the blueprint to, the financial blueprint for hair loss businesses. So we're going through every company that you need. So this is the book that's used in the course, but this book is also available separately. So we'll make sure that you guys get the information that you need. So I got your comments. I see the readies in the chat. There is a software that I wish would migrate with Facebook and do what it needs to do, so it can automatically send it to you. But hey, I know most of my followers are here on Facebook that engage, so I'm going to make sure I send those to you guys so you can have access to whatever it is you need. And for those like, hey, I just need me I like these free webinars. I come in here and I do this every week. I'm doing free webinars in the group every week. And we also have like a more private one in the Zoom community where we can get a little bit more detail because it's not on a public platform. Okay, so thank you guys for jumping in. I didn't want to stay too long. I actually got something else I need to do real quick, but I got this off my chest and I feel better. If there's any other topics that you need and some insight on, please drop them in the comments. I would love to discuss them. All right, have a great one, y'all.